How safe should we all feel this week? Well, the rational answer, I'm afraid, is not very, because the Trump presidency is coming home to roost. If we look at three of the biggest flashpoints in the world, then in each one of them, aspects of Donald Trump's character are now jeopardizing the safety of the planet. Let's first take North Korea, where Supreme Leader Kim is now having cold feet about a rapprochement with America and the Western world. And why? Because John Bolton, the new national security advisor, went on the weekend television shows in America and started talking about Libya as an example for North Korea in denuclearization. The only problem with that analogy is a very large one for the North Korean leadership. Colonel Daffy went in for getting rid of his nuclear facilities, and 4 years later he was overthrown in a coup which was backed by Western governments. So hardly the best reassuring example for the North Korean leadership. And for someone like me who's been very friendly towards President Trump's initiative and being able to say he would go to North Korea, he would meet the leadership, he would try to take a peaceful path, you would now find the limits of that in the appointment of somebody like John Bolton shooting his mouth off, as actually runs the risk of jeopardizing that whole hope of a peaceful solution for the Korean Peninsula. And let's take the new disaster, catastrophe in Gaza. President Trump, as a candidate, knew full well that the traditional American policy was to have neutrality in terms of the Middle East, that you couldn't be the broker, the honest broker of any possible settlement, as American presidents have striven to be since the Second World War, if you took sides decisively in the conflict. Now, of course, most people would say that most American presidents have been pro-Israeli, but they've always been careful to maintain that balance because they knew they would have to be the brokers of peace. As soon as Donald Trump abandoned that and declared Jerusalem as the unified capital of Israel de facto, then he abandoned the balance and set alight the blue touch paper for the catastrophe we're now seeing in Gaza. And then thirdly, the looming disaster to come, tearing up the Iranian deal on denuclearization. The greatest triumph of the Obama presidency, John Kerry's negotiation of a deal with Iran backed by all powers, East and West, tearing it up because it was the previous president's landmark policy. Now, Donald Trump became president, and he had no axe to grind on any of these issues. If Donald Trump had gone to Tehran before he became a presidential candidate, he'd probably been thinking about building a Trump Tower or a hotel deal in that country. He had the instinctive knowledge that you should be even-handed in the Middle East, and he probably didn't know Supreme Leader Kim from Kim Kardashian. But as he's acquired some knowledge, then of course he's successfully taken the wrong decisions or appointed the wrong advisors on each of these issues. And before long, we all across this planet may well end up paying for these disastrous mistakes. It is the ultimate sign that a little knowledge in Trump's hands can be a dangerous thing.